All right, everybody, welcome back to this channel, That Prison Guard, another episode. Make sure you subscribe and share this content. We're growing. We're only growing at a high rate of speed. Let's give a shout out to the countries that are watching us in this order. United States, Mexico, wild, Puerto Rico, Canada, the UK, and Australia, right? And the list goes on and on. I see you guys. Now, cities. I already told you guys, LA. LA is leading by far. All right. San Francisco, Sacramento. I'm pretty sure the people watching me from Sacramento are my old bosses, right? Trying to figure out what the hell they're going to do and how their secret got out. San Diego, Fresno, San Jose, Vegas, Phoenix, Chula Vista, Seattle, Bakersfield, Dallas, Denver, Chicago, Houston, Austin, and New York, right? So you guys are watching, you guys are hearing, right? Share the message. Let's grow. Let's grow this voice. All right. So this episode, right, is going to be. Let me start off by saying I didn't tell stories while I was in the department, right? In my 16 years, I didn't go. Nobody likes a storyteller. Man, you'll hear people like on both sides, people talking, right? And then you'll see when somebody's clearly not interested in their story, they'll be like, yeah. Oh, that's crazy. Really? Damn. Yeah, that's crazy. Right? But for some reason, stories on YouTube hits different. All right. So some of my old coworkers are probably like, damn, I didn't know that. Like, shit, I didn't know that. Right? Because I didn't go around talking, boasting. That wasn't my style. With that being said, this episode is going to be about youngsters, the new generation, right? Everybody sees it. Everybody sees it on both sides. And for the record, right, I'm not an OG dinosaur. I came in '06, right? That's when I came in, 2006. But have things changed? Yeah. I would like to say I caught a tail end of how things used to be. Right? And that's compared to how things are now. On both sides of the fence. On both sides of the house. Youngsters. Started at Centinela State Prison. And I saw a change. And I'm not the only one that saw a change. The California Department of Corrections give out CDC numbers. Right? That's how they identify. That and their last name. But that's how they identify inmates. Starting off with a beginning of time, A numbers, right? A, the letter A, and then a sequence of numbers. The letter B, sequence of numbers. C numbers. I want to say I saw a handful of B numbers, right? B is in Bravo. Those are your OG dinosaurs. I'm talking about been down 40 years, 50 years, right? Longer than I've been alive. And I was born in the 1980s, okay? So just to give you a perspective of what I came up from or what my upbringing is, right? Parents still used to whoop your ass in the 80s and in the 90s. And I think that may be the difference between now. We'll just use the term millennials, right? Not that I like that word, but you guys understand where I'm coming from when I use the term millennials, right? The new generation of gang members, new generation of inmates, right? From my perspective, when I was younger, in the fifth or sixth grade, right? I was skateboarding around, right? I was a skater, believe it or not, long hair, skateboard, something I enjoyed doing. It was fun. I liked, running the streets with my friends, staying up late, hitting the handrails, stuff like that. But I had these little ramps in front of my house, right? Ramps, grinding boxes, and people would come, other kids would come and skate. Well, I was like in fifth grade, running my mouth, talking shit to some kid that was older than me. It's probably 2 years older than me, right? I thought I was funny. I thought I was cool. I thought I was cute. Like, talking shit, calling them names, right? Just clearly disrespectful now that I look back on it. And I had a dirt lot next to my house, right? It was my house and then the dirt lot, right? It was... I didn't grow up in the best neighborhood or the worst neighborhood, right? But the house kind of next door used to sell drugs. So there'd be like syringes and shit in the dirt lot. That was a normal program back then. But I was talking shit, right? This dude fucking like comes at me, right? And I fucking run inside the house, right? Scared as fuck, right? The kid knocks on my door, knocks on my parents' door on the home. My dad answers. He tells my dad, hey, sir, like your son was talking shit. I want to know if I can go next door to the dirt lot and handle it, right? And I'm like in the hallway, like over here looking, and my dad turns around and said, hey, go take it outside and go handle your business. And I was like, oh, fuck, right? My dad put me on the spot. Technically, I had put myself on the spot. I didn't go outside, right? I was fucking in 5th grade, fucking scared as shit. So the door shuts. My dad turns around and said, see, that's why you don't run your fucking mouth. If you can't back it up, don't talk shit. And I learned that lesson. Boy, did I learn that lesson at that young age. The message was received, right? That and my life experiences, the military, Iraq, combat. This is what I kind of came into the game. I came into the game with some knowledge, right? I had already learned that lesson. Don't run your mouth if you can't back your shit up. So these new kids, right, coming in, and I use the word kids, not to be disrespectful, but that's how I see them. I see everybody younger than me now as kids, right? Just the process of getting older. And Charlie Yard Centinela level 4 GP. I remember at that time I was working in the clinic, and there was an OG black dude, right? I don't remember if he was a blood or a crip. You have to understand, if I'm throwing races out there or genders, male or female, it's only for identification purposes, right? Don't get all fucking lose your mind over a descriptive story, right? I'm fair across the board, and you're going to hear fairness across the board, right? I never favored nobody more than the other. So he's my porter in the thing. So we had time to talk this and that. He used to tell me about his case back in the old days, LAPD, how they used to get down, you know, just like old school shit, old school stories. And I told him one time, man, what's up with these youngsters? What's up with them? And I was implying about the inmates. And he goes, fuck, dude, they won't listen to nobody. They will not listen to nobody. Like if you're an OG and you try to tell them something, like they just all like gang up on you. Like they have no rhyme or reason. And I was like, damn, man, that to me was an eye opener. Like I always thought like the inmate population can control their own. And don't get me wrong, they can control their own, but I'm talking about the switch. And this time frame that I'm telling you about in the clinic was probably around 2000, either 2010, 2011, or 2012. That time frame, right? That's when the newer generation started coming in. I told you about the CDCR numbers, about the A numbers, the B numbers, the C numbers, the D numbers. Well, it started coming to the point where we were getting AA numbers, AB numbers, AC, BA, BC, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like these are like, right? These are like double letter numbers, right? So that they're new. For the record, you could have been an OG, paroled, and then came back, and you're going to come in with a new CDC number. So that didn't necessarily say, but I mean, if you're a young kid, you can tell you're a kid, and you have a new number and you're acting a fool, yeah, I can definitely tell you're new. The same way you could tell we're new, I could definitely tell you're new. But that has consequences, right? That has a potential for violence. That has a potential for blowing up. So the game changed, right? These youngsters started flooding the scene, the prison system, disrespectful. Fast forward to about 1 year ago, 2 years ago, so maybe 2020, I was on that Donovan as a lieutenant on Echo facility with a level 2 programming yard, non-designated, I guess you want to call it, programming facility. And this older black dude, like I could tell who the OGs were. I can spot OGs, right? Because they're quiet, but you know they're about the business, right? And that's kind of how I carried myself. Quiet, but I think people could tell what time it was with me, right? So this guy comes in and I see a tattoo, like old faded tattoo on his arm, and it kind of said like rolling 60s or something like that. So I made the comment like, rolling 60s, huh? And he's like, yeah, I used to be a long time ago. I said, what happened, man? What happened with these youngsters? He's like, man, we left the game and nobody left them the rule book. And it dawned on me, you know? They left the game and nobody left them the rule book. And I said, the same shit is happening on our side of the house, green side. All the good fucking people are gone, leaving, jump ship, out of there. Don't want no part of it no more. But these young kids are coming into this system, into this beast, monster, blind, right? I wrote a book, right? Operation Yard Recall. And that's kind of why I wrote that book, to school these kids. School them in the correct way, the proper way, right? Because I knew I was going to fucking bounce. But what can I leave? What can I leave these youngsters? What can I give to them before I leave, right? So, because I'm not a negative dude, I'm for peace. I already told you. I consider myself a warrior in the garden, right? As opposed to a gardener in the war. Meaning, I know what I'm about, right? But I'm going to keep it cool until times are not cool. So here's my message. Here's my message to the youngsters coming in, right? Inmates. You may think you're invincible, right? I know what it feels like to think you're invincible. I can assure you you're not. I can bet my life on it that you're not. You're going to answer to somebody. You're going to mind somebody. Right? You may have not been taught this growing up. Right? You may have not experienced this maybe in county jail. Right? But when you hit the prison system, you're in the big house now, man. I don't give a fuck what Sacramento tries to say that, oh, look, we put a pony over here. Everything's all good. Oh, look, we have a, what the fuck, man? We got like a circus or something going on over here. Everything's all good. You best believe people are still getting murdered. Would I say daily? It fucking for sure weekly. I'll tell you that much. For sure. Ask around. So, if you think you're big and bad and with the business, I can assure you there is people bigger and badder than you. Right? On both sides of the house. I think I've made this clear already, right? So let me tell you how it works. OGs in prison, that's their life. They will not tolerate anybody coming in and disrupting their program, their life, right? Some are involved in criminal activities. Some have money coming in, generating revenue. And if you come in and you fuck that up for them, guess what's going to happen to you? I mean, I don't really got to fucking emphasize on the matter, but if you think you're big and bad and you're surrounded by your homies who also think they're big and bad, and you flex on me, or call me out, or you're going to run into a brick wall, right? You're going to run into a brick wall. And I already spoke on this on another video. Not because I think I'm bad, not because I think because that's not going to be tolerated. That's not going to be tolerated at all, right? So you're going to answer to somebody. You're going to mind somebody. There's situations where youngsters have gotten out of pocket, right? And it's tense. And all I have to do is look. All we do is look. Look at your people. They look right back. And it's a clear understanding of what's going to happen to you. It's a clear understanding of what's going to happen, right? And then we go about our business. Like, I gotta check this paperwork. Forgot. Oh shit! I forgot. I gotta go check on this, right? Because it's my job to go check on this over here. Hey, you guys have a good one. I'm out. Think you understand that you're gonna be answering to somebody, right? Not because we're criminals, not because this and that, but because prison is prison. If we don't do this, people are gonna die on both sides of the house. And if you're an OG, you understand what I'm talking about. You've seen the bloodshed. You were rocking and rolling. All the dudes I heard all the stories, right? It's all on YouTube. All the OG that put in work, did their time, right? So it's in your best interest. If you're new, you're young, you're in the prison, in the gang life, you think you're about it. Ask around. Ask around how many people are really about it. And don't ask your little tiny group of homies. Ask an OG. Pick his brain, right? Might put you up on a little something right there. With that being said, I read all your comments, right? I know the topics you want me to talk about. Oh man, you guys want me to talk about if I've ever talked to some very important people. Yes, I have, right? All this kind of stuff. You ever heard the story of the Papa Bull and the Baby Bull? Look it up. It's a good one. Well, we're going to walk down that hill, right? We're going to tackle these comments, questions, topics, all right? So be sure to share. Be sure to subscribe, right? Share it on the gram. Share it on Facebook. So get the word out there, all right? Keep pushing forward.